எங்கும் எங்கும் உற்சாகம், எதிலும் உத்வேகம், அனைவருக்கும் நேசக்கரம். உங்கள் VetriNadai.
Vanakkam. We are going to do this program in English because our youth are from different countries, and the children and youth, because they are medium of communication English. We want the future children and future youth to understand and come forward. So we are doing it in English. Thank you for all the children and young people to come in the program. Please, everyone, watch this program and then to come to see how these young people are able to find time, see their heart, what is in their heart able to come out and volunteer and help the children. So we would like to listen to the lived experience and stories.
Well, I've got a cousin who is 11 years old, and I've been privileged enough to watch him grow up and help him overcome obstacles. And I've helped him overcome some social and communication needs, and with Dr. Puvanendran's help, we can implicate it with Sparks and impact so many other families in the Tamil society so they can gain awareness and information.
Through this said, sometimes when you see children from young age, should be able to understand their difficulties, and then also normally developing children can help the other children to develop like a social communication, as Suruthi mentioned. And then also I have seen Suruthi coming and helping in the kind of group activities, and also she has been helping in the group called Sibling Support Group. So that's an online support group. In that she is a regular participant and she is helping in those. Maybe we'll be able to ask about how she is helping in the online and also face-to-face.
Well, obviously face-to-face would be more interactive, but online sessions they help people all around the world to get involved in the sessions. For example, we had someone called Julie Cox, and she was helping the children all around the world come and do dance activities, talk, do communication activities. Then, as Dr. Puvanendran said, we had the sibling sessions, which go straight to the siblings. So we had a few volunteers take turns and lead sessions and lead group discussions, so we could tackle topic by topic on how to help them. With face-to-face activities, we would go to the park and help them do sports activities that would engage and help them with different skills that they will need in the future. There is definitely a massive improvement, especially in communication skills. For example, with my cousin, he couldn't speak very well at the beginning, but I could see the progress over a few months. With the right stimulus, he can have a healthy conversation with people, and people gain awareness about his environment. And especially after the pandemic, our family got a dog, and we could see the relationship between my cousin and the dog, because at first he was scared, but with the improvement and the skills that he learned from Sparks especially, he can relate and have fun and have more healthy conversations.
So they mentioned, because the parents normally doesn't think in the kind of broader play activity, social interaction play, the children will be fearless. So like as Suruthi said, her cousin was initially scared of dog. So the parents will be scared of introducing dog, and also the Suruthi and their parents and the things, they were easily able to introduce dog. And she mentioned about going in a family holiday. So going in a holiday together as a family is also improved their outlook and development. So it's a kind of wonderful thing to family go in a holiday and work with the animals and as a pets. It's a fantastic thing. But Suruthi and the family has been doing.
Question correctly, I have them do basic things such as clap or give them a compliment, just simple things that'll help them feel happy, more rewarded with the things that they're learning.
So that's very interesting because in his age of 16, he's busy studying his future education. And it's nice to Ajay find time. And I'm also following up his way. He's been supporting, he's giving like a tuition and also coaching the children. And as he mentioned, he sees positive things in the children, not only children with autism, children with learning difficulties, and other neurodiverse children. And he's giving coaching, encouragement, fundraising. Maybe we can hear from his activities how he made things all possible.
So basically, I am working on kind of their cognitive development. So one of the things I work with them is the game of chess. So the game of chess is kind of, it's a strategy game, something that I believe if taught right, it could help them, improve their mental abilities. So basically, I've been teaching them slowly with the basics, such as like, how to move each piece, how to capture, and then, just slowly, however long it'll take. I hope to eventually have them all playing games against, their own themselves, other children who may be more intellectually capable than them. But the end goal is to just help them, improve their mental capacities. And also, I do something called origami, which is basically folding paper to kind of make like different things such as animals, objects, planes, things like that. Just that kind of adds more of a fun aspect to, while helping them use their hands more, their own physical activities.
So what we appreciate about Ajay, he goes to their level, come down to the level, and the teaching chess. So in the chess, you don't need much language, show them, model them. And also beauty, he is able to use the online facility. He's from America, helping children in Sri Lanka, different parts of Sri Lanka, Jaffna, maybe Kilnochi, Vavania, or the areas. And then also his consistency, doing weekly, regularly, doing the kind of build-up. So he gets to know the children well, and he forms a kind of relationship and friendship. So he's not only playing chess and cheating chess, he's also giving confidence and also friendship and also the kind of brotherly, so they will look at him as an Anna, who's Ajay Anna coming and helping and building those type of things. And then not only that, he saw the needs of the children, the social communication needs, and also he was amazing that he raised funds and able to provide equipments and books and materials which are difficult to get in Sri Lanka. So that I saw the kind of things he sent, it was amazing.
So I think autistic children definitely are capable, and if they're given the correct encouragement and guidance, they can really do whatever they put their mind to. Back before the pandemic, I attended the group activities in the park. I think it helps the children gain more collaborative skills. We would like to take walks around the park and engage in conversations, and it can really make a difference by just having a general conversation about the day. I think that some people may think they're more more at a disadvantage to learning and things, but in reality they really have the capabilities to do the same or even better than any normal person.
But we can say in the children and the young people, they have an open mind and they see the possibilities and good things in the other children. They don't see them as children with autism or autistic. They see them as an individual, and they want to make friendship, they want to improve them, they want to help them. That's the things about children. The children see them as an individual and they accept them readily, and also they include them. That's the beauty. They include them in the things. They also get their friends to come and help working on. We have seen from Suruthi, then we have seen from Dharmia, and also from Ajay. They all somehow the facilitating, helping, and they are be the kind of positive force in the things. And that's a good thing to see that and also maybe people who are listening also can look at, wow, these people are doing that. What we can do that, and then maybe this may raise awareness and maybe ideas from how we can join hands together with these young people.
I've only been able to provide my support and encouragement to autistic kids for not necessarily a very short amount of time, but only for a few months. But from even just from what I've seen in my small amount of time, I've seen the capabilities of some of these children and how misunderstood they could be. A lot of people, we were talking earlier about acceptance. A lot of people don't want to accept their children just as people, but they don't understand the magnitude of what their kids can do in various different fields, not necessarily just music or mathematics or art or any other kind of any avenue. People have a gift, like they're born with a gift regardless of who they are. A lot of people want to ignore that for those who may be on the autism spectrum for one reason or another. I don't think that's I just think that's wrong. And I've seen firsthand the potential that a lot of these kids have. And not only has it inspired me to do better in my own life in terms of pushing the boundaries of what I can do as a musician, as a person, but it's given me a lot of insight as to the fact that you can't judge a book by its cover in any sense, in any situation. I'm in my final year of high school. I've received my offer for university. I'm going to go in September. So what I've just been doing recently is just keeping up with school, keeping my average up, and pursuing, as you mentioned earlier, I write music. I write rap lyrics for as just a side thing for my own enjoyment. I do that in my spare time as a way to express myself, but that's usually what I do just whenever I have spare time. And I also play video games too. I want to be able to make a one-to-one connection with a person regardless of who they are, and be able to communicate with them regardless of who they are, regardless of whatever barriers they may have that may be suppressing them. I want to be able to connect with someone. And even though that might be harder through online, I still want to learn to do that to the best of my ability. I've seen other people that are able to talk with some of the kids that we work with and make a genuine connection with them, and make them smile and make them laugh and make them be responding to them in a timely, you know what I mean? Yes. I want to get to that point because I also plan on going into medicine myself. So I want to make that connection with the kids that we're working with, similar to how you would do with a patient.
It's excellent. Now, Ishan is a kind of finishing his high school, going to go to university, and then to move on. You can see he is far more forward thinking, and also he is seeing the potential in the young people, children. And he also knows how to connect in the different ways, music or creativity, in those kind of things. Sometimes parents may not accept that. Parents may not even not know that. As young people, they will see the potential. And the connection is very important. Connecting with the kind of children, connecting with the kind of their friends, connecting with their abilities, connecting with the interests. That's the way Ishan is working. And also, I could notice that Ishan's mindset, he is thinking in a positive way. He wants to grow himself. He wants to grow, and also he wants to make other children to grow. He's able to find time, able to organize himself, able to grow in his music, grow in the kind of. So we can see the future young people like Ishan. They are the kind of stars. These are the kind of people parents will be proud of having those kind of children who are able to find time, able to study, able to do well in the university. The other children called in the neuroscience called growth mindset. These are children who will do things and develop and move on. We are proud of having the children developing in the growth mindset.
I personally have had the pleasure of making friends with people that went to my high school that have autism. As a matter of fact, one of my close friends from the past, they had autism, and they didn't say anything about it. I didn't know that there was no correlation that would make me think that. But a lot of people, as soon as they heard, like, I would tell my friends about this person that I'm speaking of, and their immediate reaction would be, I could tell just from their body language that they were kind of on guard, or they were unsure or uncomfortable when I said that my friend was on the autism spectrum. And I don't think that that's acceptable. I don't think that that should be how things are. And to answer your question, yeah, I think I'm gonna do everything I can to show the people around me that it's important to accept people for who they are, regardless of who they are. That is very important. That is what only true friends, you'll only see that if you're a true friend, or if you truly want the best for someone. You won't accept them for who they are if you don't genuinely care about them. That is what you want to strive for, and that is what I want to encourage the people around me to do.
Basically, before joining Sparks, I attended like seminars and workshops from like medical professionals talking about like the importance of acceptance and inclusivity and accessibility, and like just having the opportunity for people to express themselves for who they are. And when I started to work with Sparks, it's just a bunch of autistic children who are interested and are willing to be there and just learn and be a part of these activities. Like some of the activities that we do is like freeze dance or Pictionary, and it shows them that they can use their skills and abilities from maybe what their parents might not know or see, and to just show them who they are as a person.
Soumya's thinking, the outlook is about, in a positive way, thinking about, and also her willingness to open her mind and open her heart to help and support. And also she's by going to kind of causes of disability, causes and things like that, and then you will become aware. Once you become aware, then what you want to do, not only information, what you want to do, that's what matters. That's what makes them people different. So Soumya is doing something, actively contributing, giving up time, and also influencing her friends and trying to do improving, and also kind of face-to-face activity, online activity through the Sparks in Canada. This is really encouraging to hear.
One of the challenges I would say is that, let's say if you're introducing an activity, you're expecting them to like pick it up easily, which is not the case at all. And I am really understanding of like taking time and for them to make sure that they understand what they're doing. And like some of the activities, like if you're cooking something, like the parents are supervising them, but you know, they feel like they need to, like, example, like using a knife, like they would have to do it because like they're afraid that the child might cut themselves. But if you don't allow them, then they won't, like, they would have a fear of it, or they would like won't do it because of how they're taught or how they've seen the process of it.
I think that's a very important point Soumya made, because the parents tend to think in a safety, we don't want to do that, child can't do. They will think child can't do, child won't do. But the children and the young people think in a different. Why don't you give a chance? Help them explore, be curious. That's the way child is curious. So they will try to do that. So within the kind of safety they can look after. And also sometimes friends also have the kind of fear of something bad could happen. So the new friends, other people also, maybe they don't come and say they don't know. But once they know the child is want to learn, child want to explore, child want to enjoy, have fun. So that's what all these volunteers have seen. They've seen the children having a potential. So they must be given a chance. So by giving the kind of guidance, so they are facilitating. So normally parents won't do that. These children will definitely facilitate and empower children to do. So that's the positive thing.
So I'm Tabuni and I'm from Sri Lanka. And I volunteer at this program called Reach Beyond. And basically, they do activity sessions for youth. And so I don't personally have anyone, family that is on the spectrum, but so I came to know this through a friend. And when I joined it, it was at the height of COVID. So everything was online. And so this was at the start. And so I really got to see that growth of where all these children came to the sessions at the beginning and were very unsure of it, and sort of all the tools on Zoom, like the mute button or the chat button. And gradually I saw that growth, and now we're at this point where everyone's so comfortable with using it and it's so excited to play the games. And it's really something it's very exciting to see also the growth. I am someone that's quite patient, but it was sort of working online really sort of teaches you how much patience you need to have. And we talked so much about how we help the children. But I think something I learned from this whole experience is there's something I learned from the children as well. And sort of just seeing the interaction, because these are all monitored by the children's parents, and seeing that interaction between the parents and the child, and seeing how much patience a parent has with their child sort of taught me something. And that was something I learned, sort of, to give them a chance, to let them sort of take charge. And if they don't get it at once, that's okay. And so patience was something I really learned through the whole experience.
Very, very important. But we can learn from all the children when we are, and also all the children, they come to the children's level. They have a more patience and also go to the level the child can understand or group can understand. And especially during the COVID time, it was a kind of negative thing, which also opened the opportunity online activity. So initially people didn't know, as explained, that people didn't know which button to do, and the parents also didn't know. But of course, young people learn the technology very quickly, and they also use it for learn themselves. And also, it's become it was very interesting to see how they use the technology to teach and coach other children across the world, across Sri Lanka, across other countries. They're doing that. It was amazing how they adapted themselves and they become teachers. They become like a professionals. So these skills will help them in the future. Even though they are helping the other children, they are also helping themselves to become. It's also giving some leadership skills. They are become like a leaders. Leaders is amazing development we can see in these children and youth.
A distraction I think happens with everyone.
Yeah.
But even though it happens, I think a lot of the time, because children on the spectrum are a little more open, they'll let us know, like this is distracting me, or what does this button do, like in the middle of the game. And you sort of stop and you explain that, and then you move on, and it isn't a distraction anymore. And that's something I learned as well from working with these children, was communication. Like the ability to sort of stop and explain something again and again, or explain what this button does or that button does, and then the distraction is over, and then you move on with the game. And it's something I learned as well.
Well, I mainly see him face to face, so being able to be comfortable around certain stimuluses like his toys and stuff, and being able to have a healthy conversation with him and keep him engaged so that he can understand what's happening and be aware of the situation, and not get distracted by other things that's happening, but just sit down and have a conversation with you. First, obviously, everyone's going to be a bit confused as to what their special needs are and how to help them. But I think Sparks is a really great society, and you can be open and you can I think people still have a stigma as to what autism is, or like a pre-notion thought about it. But I think with Sparks and with any sort of society that reaches out to people with special needs, children can really reach their full potential, and they can talk to people about it. And also parents and carers and other friends and family friends, they can understand and be educated and how to help the children and how to really reach out.
Not necessarily a friend of mine, but my cousin, she's on the autism spectrum, and there have been many times where we would all hang out, all the cousins, in like a friendly setting, just as a group, you know, just chilling, just hanging out, and it's she. We try to make the environment as comfortable as possible, and by doing so we get to see a lot of her personality, because she's a little bit reserved and closed off if she's a bit uncomfortable with the situation. But when she opens up, you get to see you get to see her personality a lot. You get to see her interests, her what she enjoys, and like you get to see her genuinely laugh or smile, and it's very difficult not to put a smile on your own face when that happens. So it's in regards to treating them like a regular person, I try to treat everybody equally regardless of what's going on, and that is what I aspire to do. So that's how I treat just about everyone, and that's how I encourage other people to treat others regardless of their situation. And that's what we did with our cousin, and by doing so, she opened up a lot and she expressed herself a lot more than she normally would. So I would encourage anybody just to honestly, please just treat everybody the way you would want to be treated, and like a normal person. Sorry, like a normal person. And if you do so, they'll open up to you, you know, and make sure they're comfortable. They'll open up to you.
No, it was something about acceptance as well. And, you know, living in Sri Lanka, you really get to see these two sides to acceptance, and where autism isn't something that a lot of people are educated on. So you do see, you know, parents that don't entirely accept their children who have autism just because they aren't as educated on the topic. But then the place I volunteer at Reach Beyond, you see this sort of complete acceptance of, you know, the parents of their children and all of us volunteers, of everyone that comes to the sessions. And I think acceptance and the way you interact with someone else, regardless of whether or not they're autistic, comes with education. And so, you know, if we were able to spread the word around and, you know, educate everyone on the fact that regardless of whether or not someone's on the spectrum, everyone's, you know, just people, and you should accept people.
To understand their ability and also their difficulties. So bring the bar to the level, like Ishan said, like his cousin was a bit, you know, reserved and quiet. So once they bring the bar down and be listening and be not a rush thing, then she opened up and see a bird smile and everybody able to do. So that's about, it's about accepting the person as it is, accepting, not to have too much expectation or rush through. And also they all said, be patient. Be patient, give that person to and give some time to do, help them to do. That's the strategy, the method they used. And also and also influencing their friends and other people, the family members or the other cousins. So all of them to be on board to this kind of thing. So visually possible through children. Adults tend to judge. Or they have a fear, but children, young people don't have a fear. They don't judge as adults.
Well, it depends on their own interests, what they are able to do best in. Some of the things I've seen are one kid I know does coding. He does things on coding websites. He's done basic coding. Who knows? Maybe with the right training, he could become a good computer scientist if he's trained properly with the right methods. So that's just an example, but I think that they're all capable of doing really anything that they put their mind to, that they're given the right training, anything that suits their interests, their abilities, just a lot of things in general.
Through games, the children will enjoy the game and also playing together, learn from each other. So anything gamified, if you make it as a game and succeeding in easy, that's what the computer games are doing very well nowadays. So in that, computer coding is the kind of things that the language children with neurodiversity, especially children, do well. And for the fact, like Google and all the technology companies, there are a lot of children with autistic features or Asperger's syndrome, autism, they are being positively recruited in NASA, in Google, and IBM, and all the big companies. They recruit them because they are very good at solving this in the big problem. So in maths and pure maths and computer coding, computer science. So that's it. So Ajay could see the kind of potential able to, especially in Sri Lanka, they don't teach much coding unless you are in the private school, so things like that. But in Canada, UK, now the people are teaching coding. So these are all made easy. So online, maybe children like Ajay or even children who are doing technology courses, they can easily online teach coding to many children in Sri Lanka, many children in Canada, many children in UK, children who are so normally the school won't think about them, so they will become geniuses in the future. So what Ajay said is very true.
So I definitely there are lots of gaps in the system, and I think again that can be fixed through education and programs. So like right now, the program I go to, I volunteer at, sort of does activity sessions, and through being online, the children that come learned how to use online platforms that everyone in the world is using right now. And so now that things have gone back to being in person, I think activity sessions where maybe you're taught real life skills, I think we aren't quite there yet in Sri Lanka, but I've heard of quite a few projects that are starting up. And so again, educating people on like the importance of having projects like that, of having activity sessions like that, where life skills are taught, or places where these children can explore what they're really interested in. Because right now, I think also the scope is very narrow for how much they're exposed to. So a place where they can be exposed to a variety of different things, so whether it's technology or dance or or activities, and so then they're able to really identify what they're interested in, and be able to go ahead with that. So to answer the question, in Sri Lanka, I think there's definite gaps, but it's sort of starting to build up. I've seen quite a few projects.
Sorry, I just wanted to speak on the topic of making sure everybody is exposed to certain things. I have a personal belief that everybody on Earth is born with some form of gift in a different field. Like, for example, some people have the gift of music. Some people have the gift of drawing really nice art. Some people have the gift of doing math equations very fast. It can be on such a massive scale or a very small scale. And I think that people should use those gifts to the best of their abilities, because it was given to them for a reason. And with that being said, there's a lot of, should I say, bias, and there's a lot of stigma around certain professions being safe and certain professions being looked down upon purely because it doesn't have a very high reputation. For example, medicine or law, those are the two big ones that I usually see parents telling their kids to do purely because it's a stable job, it's a stable profession that you can be financially stable in. However, I think that people should use whatever gifts they were given for their own good, because I have a saying, if you love what you do as a job, you'll never work a day in your life, because it's basically like you're getting paid for doing what you love, right? And I think anybody can make a career in whatever they want as long as they're good at it and as long as they enjoy it, you know? So I want people to express themselves in that way, regardless of the barriers they have, regardless of what they're dealing with. They should have that opportunity, and I think they shouldn't be scared to do that.
Kind of everyone has a talent or the special interest or gift, whatever you want to do. And also, some of the people have a fixed mindset that my child want to be this one, study. The parents, especially Sri Lankan parents, tend to focus on the studies because that's the way they focused before. But the 21st century is opened up. It's about different talent, identifying the talent. So it's all about exposing the 21st century technology. So the children who are learning in developed countries like UK, America, Canada, they're exposed to various studies, so they can choose. So parents don't have to force them. So that's what we heard. And also today's program is about VetriNadai. VetriNadai about how do you succeed and walk and succeed to become walk to be successful. So these young people are excellent example of their pursuing the career, whatever they want to do. They're also helping and then to the fellow human beings and also maybe their family friends or maybe friends. So that's the kind of things by doing that, our parents can see that to facilitate that, facilitate. And also we heard that like Ajay, I think so, the other future children, there are so many opportunities like computer coding, music, dance. We wanted to show about a young person from Canada, Kritika. She's one of twins. They were running a Prema dance group, Bollywood dance group. She has been conducting online dance program, Bollywood dance for Sri Lanka and UK children. They also done face-to-face in Canada. So that's again, which made people to develop dance and coordination, balance, and music enjoyment, developing skills. So like that, there are other people also maybe come forward and volunteer and help to do that. And then we can learn a lot. Like when I was a child, we didn't have this kind of opportunity to receive help and support. And now we are fortunate to have the young people from different countries, from Sri Lanka to USA, Canada, in their young age, they were able to do that. Maybe also they are showing empathy and also their sense of self-fulfillment. Maybe we can ask them, how many of you feel really happy about doing this kind of work? Really happy in yourself? So that's what the joy. So by helping these things, they are really enjoying joy. So helping the fellow human being brings about happiness. So life is all about happiness. We be happy and also helping. So in here, they are all showing the true acceptance. They are accepting them as they are. And they are also facilitating inclusion. They are showing friendship. They are developing life skills. They are helping the children to develop social skills. These are all very important skills. Some of the things they are doing online, like Ajay met the children in there. So the kind of from different countries, and also they are from Sri Lanka. The technology, even today, there's a power cut and it's a midnight now, 1 o'clock. See the kind of amazing power, and then they are connecting from different countries, different time zones. That's the love these children have. The children, young people, they have love for fellow human beings. So we want more people, maybe young people. What's the message you want to give it to your fellow friends? What message they want to give?
Well, you need to just be accepting and, like everyone else said, don't judge a book by its cover. And I think once you open up to the society that we have, like Sparks or Reach Beyond, you can help anyone and everyone reach their full potential, no matter their background or where they are on the autism spectrum?
I feel like the main message is like everybody is unique and special in their own ways, and just because like if you can't meet the expectations of what like most people can, that doesn't differentiate you of your abilities and like determines who you are as a person.
I would say, as we said, don't judge a book by its cover. But in regards to that, I would also say I would encourage a lot of people to perhaps do their own research into the autism spectrum, because, as I said earlier, there's a lot of stigma in regards to what people think autism actually is, when it's not necessarily just one like thing. It's not one set of traits. There's a plethora of different traits that all fall under the autism spectrum. So I would encourage people to do their own research and do their part in spreading awareness and allowing people to understand what it truly is we're talking about here. And I want people to understand what autism actually is and learn to accept it like we have with a lot of other things.
So I think just in general, we should all try harder to be more patient with people, try to be more accepting, and I think the more volunteers autism and sparks and things can have, the more like good it can do for the community, the more better people with autism or mental illness can be nurtured and helped in the correct mindset and way.
So my message would be to if you meet anyone that has autism, I would greatly encourage people to talk to them, to meet them, to learn about what they like, what they're good at, just to learn about anyone they know that has autism, because I know a lot of us have people with autism in our communities, in our families, that if you can meet them, I believe that you're setting yourself to make a good friend, and also to learn from them what they what kind of things they can do that you might have not thought they could have done. And also you can kind of help them, like, I kind of brought my own skills in to give them something to learn about, give them some fun. And I think that connection is truly something that's really invaluable.
I think something we can all learn is that there's always something to learn from someone else. We volunteer, and we give, so we think, we do give so much, but you also receive, you meet so many people, you learn different qualities. Like I know I learned so much, and it's a really beautiful thing. And I think you have to always go into any sort of encounter you have with a person knowing that there's so much you can learn as much as you can give.
எங்கும் உற்சாகம், எதிலும் உத்வேகம், அனைவருக்கும் நேசக்கரம். உங்கள் வெற்றி நடை.